Good morning, Hampton Roads. How's everybody doing today? And welcome to Virginia's only local real estate investing podcast, where we get to talk about local investors, local deals, and all things local. I'm your host, the founder of the Master Investor Academy, and author of my best-selling book, Work Just Gets in the Way of Making Money, Scott Jelinek. How's everybody doing? If you have any questions, comments, concerns, things you'd like to discuss, or properties you would like to sell, you can text me directly at 757-699-4227. That's 757-699-4227. So for those of you who are listening on the podcast, you won't be able to see this. But for those of you who are watching the video, the YouTube video, if you can't tell, I finally broke down and got some lights. I was looking at some of the previous videos, and I said, man, it looks really dark in there. You almost can't see. It was a little bit shaded. So let me know what your thoughts are on them. I finally got some lights. I have them a little bright now. I didn't know if I should keep them a little darker. I was playing with it, but you guys comment below and let me know what you think. If it's better, worse, if you think they should be darker, brighter, whatever. So anyway, how's everybody doing? This has been a really busy week this week. Last time I spoke to you, I think I told you about that cat pee house. I did decide to sell it. I had somebody with me when I went to look at it, and I ended up selling it right there on the spot. I made a small fee on it. We're making it's going to end up being about $10,000 on it because I closed, so I have to close again on the sale. But about $10,000 on it. But I really wanted to, because when I went in to look at it, I was only at the house the one time, and we were covered in fleas. And if you haven't ever had to deal with fleas before, it's a problem, because we leave the house and we see they're all over us. There was 3 of us there, and you can't get back in your car, and it takes a while. If you just brush them off, they jump right back on you. So we literally had to walk around the entire neighborhood, constantly picking them off. And it's ugly. A little tip with that, and I didn't have it with me. When I used to look at a lot of houses, that when we were doing MLS deals, we'd look at a lot of houses that were flea infested. I used to keep packing tape with me, and I would roll it upside down around my hand, and that made it real easy. You just tap them and they stick to it, so you didn't have to worry about them jumping back on. So a little tip for you: if you deal with flea infested houses, I need to pack that in my car again, because that used to make it a whole lot easier to be able to get back into your car. So we sold that house. I also closed on selling one of my slow flips. And I love my slow flips, so I never want to sell them. But that's the deal we make, where we sell them with owner financing. So the person we're selling them to, our buyer, has the right to either refinance or sell. It's their property. We're basically just the bank. Well, this was one I did about 10 years ago. It was one of my first slow flips. I did it about, I guess, 10, 11 years ago. And it was fairly cheap. I think back then I bought it for about 20. I sold it at 69, I believe. And he's been paying 875 for about 11 years now. And he renovated it. It was in real bad shape way back when, but he renovated it, put it on the market, and sold it. His payoff to us was right around $50,000. So it seems really cheap to only be getting $50,000 when the house is probably worth 100, 110 right now. But I want to keep the numbers in your mind when we talk about, we've had the house for about 11 years. I only paid 20 for it. I've collected 875 a month for the last 11 years. I have not done one repair. He also put $3,000 down when he bought it. I have not done one repair. I haven't seen the house in 11 years. And then we still walk away with $50,000, or whatever our number of our check was, $55,000. And so in the end, yes, I hate to lose a house. I hate to see a house go, but that's the nature of the business. What we do with that money now, we take it and we buy another one. Sometimes we take it and buy 2 more, depending on what we're getting. I have another one that requested a payoff that I just recently purchased. By recent, it's been about 15, 16 months, but I paid $22,000 for this one. I sold it for $89,000. They renovated it and put it on the market for $150,000, and I believe they got it under contract now for $150,000. So we're going to be getting paid off our $89,000, well, $86,000, because he gave $3,000 down. And this is a house we paid $22,000 for, and I did no work to it. They did all the work. So that's the trade-off with the slow flips. Sometimes they will buy them, especially in a hot market that we're in now. But who cares? We bought it wholesale and we sell it at super retail. So that's the nature of the business. I contracted another one just yesterday. I contracted another one in Norfolk. And this one was it was a referral. I had 2 appointments yesterday. One was in Norfolk, and it was a referral. And that one I did contract. It was not an old house. It's in the numbered streets in Norfolk, in a good section, but most of them were built like in the 1920s. This one was built in 1996. So I got a pretty good deal on it. I already have some interest in it from 2 different people, but I don't have access yet. And I believe I'll make 20 grand on that one. It was a decent house. And then I had another appointment out in Camelot, which I did not get as of yet. We had a good appointment, but there's a lot of family members involved, so they're going to discuss it. Today I had an appointment all the way out in Pocosin, which I generally don't buy in Pocosin. Not that I won't buy out there, but it's not in my target market. But this was a really good lead. It came over the internet, and the seller actually drove all the way up from Florida to meet with me and to take a look at the house. It was his father-in-law's house. So he drove all the way up to meet with me. Meeting went very well. I believe I'm going to get it, but he has a brother as well. They have to discuss it. And hopefully I'll know something within the next day or two. That was a real good one. I think if I get that one, I'm going to keep it. I think it was a perfect one to add to my collection. That's really all I got today. So I have I have some brand new coaching partners. I did a 3-day event. Maybe I guess it's about 3 weeks ago now, and I have a few brand new coaching partners from it, but one of them already got their first slow flip, and they've only been with me. We only just started about a week ago, and they already got their first slow flip, which we're getting funded for them. And I'm very excited about that. I met with a few of our new people yesterday, and I love it. If those of you who don't know, that is my favorite part of this entire business, when you can take somebody, open their mind, and completely set them free, one slow flip at a time. That doesn't mean we don't wholesale. That doesn't mean you don't rehab. It doesn't mean you don't do all the other avenues of trying to make money. But slow flips is what will actually set you free. So I absolutely love the slow flips. And this person is brand new with us, only been a week, and already got their first one. So I'm real excited on how that's going to go. Could you imagine if just after a year you only have 5? Let's say you only had 5 after an entire year, right? Well, we always averaged $875 a month. Now they're about $1175 a month, but we'll stick with the $875. Let's say 800 because it makes for easy math. Well, if you had just 5 of them at 800, that's $4,500 a month for the next 30 years, or then some, because they'll turn over. $4,500, and that's if you only did it for 1 year, and you only did 5, and this person did 1 in their first week. So I mean, it's very exciting. I love to see when people come out of the gate swinging, and with our local people. This is why this is a local podcast, but with our local people, we actually get to provide the funding for them. I raise private money from lenders who then fund our coaching partners' slow flip deals. So all they have to do is literally just find the deal, and we can provide the funding for them, so they don't need any money to buy these houses. So it's pretty exciting, and I look forward to them getting 2, 3, 5, 10, 20 of them, because if you're not doing the slow flips, it's definitely something that you need to look into, because it's different than everything else. You don't have the landlord headaches. You got constant cash flow, a huge return. The average return we're getting is 30 to 35% on our money, which is just an unbelievable, astronomical return. True, you don't get the appreciation like you would get with a regular rental. However, we force the appreciation from day one. So rather than saying, oh, we bought a house for $100,000 and it's going up 5% a year, or whatever the numbers are, we're buying a house for 30 and we're selling it the same year for $90,000. So we forced to that appreciation, but now we're capped at that level unless it turns over. So, again, if you love slow flips, you love them. And if you don't, then there's, some people just don't like the idea of it for whatever reason. 99 out of 100 people absolutely love them. Every now and then we get someone who doesn't. So I think I told you guys already, I contracted 16 more that are all in Portsmouth. We're not going to be closing on those until the end of this month. And that's going to bring my number up, I think, to 143 or 144. So I'm looking forward to that. I kind of feel that, it took me basically all my life to get to where we're at now, but I think we're going to double it in the next year or two. And the reason I think we're going to double it is because we're getting a lot of calls from landlords who are interested in getting out of the business and selling off their portfolio because of the frustration they had in the last, I wanted to say 12 months, but it's really 18 to 20 months now of not being able to do evictions and having the headaches that they had, people not paying and not being able to do anything about it. So I think there's going to be a lot of landlords who want to sell off as a package, which is fantastic, because I want to buy as a package. It's a lot easier for me to raise bigger money than it is to raise small money. So I'm kind of excited about that. So it's all I wanted to share with you guys today. I just wanted to test out these new lights I got, see how they look for you, share a couple updates with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. If you enjoy these videos, please go ahead and click a thumbs up for me so that I know you're out there. I appreciate it. Leave me a comment. If you're listening on the podcast, leave me a rating and review. Greatly appreciate it. And do something today that your future self is going to thank you for. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Have an absolutely fantastic